So yesterday we covered Josh, the creepy friend, and we got some more of him. But this is by far, in my opinion, the most insightful take on Stephen Stearns' relationship with Jen Soto and with Madeline, because he's gonna continue in this interview, and right off the gate, he's gonna mention that he thinks that possibly Madeline, Jen, and Stephan were all in a threesome together. Casually brings it up and kind of gives points as to why he believes that was happening. He further goes on, he gets a little deeper, casually saying that maybe they were all doing drugs together. Maybe, possibly, she could have taken the drug and died in their care while they were doing the fun things they were doing, the consensual things that they were doing, right? This is all speculation from the friend. This is all assumptions. But when your mind goes into all of that, you really have to wonder what Jen Soto really was like in the first place and what Stephan was able to do to just pervert things even further. Because it's pretty crazy. All I got to say is go through that man's phone who's talking. The guy who's talking, if we got a good look through his phone, zero passwords, we would, man, listen. Check this thing out. Tell me what you think in the comments. Let's back this up a few paces. This is Stephen Stearns' friend Josh, and this is one of the people who kind of make excuses for everything he does. So the cum in the bottle doesn't really make sense because he doesn't think Stephan is like that. The thing with the Hustler magazine with his mom buying it for him at a young age, he doesn't believe that. He thinks Stephan got it and then started lying to people, saying that he had the Hustler magazine from his mom when he actually just was finding it, getting ways to find it. So there's a lot of things that Josh, that's why I said last stream, he's low-key one of them. Josh kind of really gives a good word for Stephan Stearns, even now. So let's go ahead and check this out. I backed it up a little bit, then we're going to go into part two.
She was not nearly as belligerent about her. As far as I know, she was a drill instructor. And so she always carried herself with I'm in charge kind of personality.
The last guy, he said that she would even...
And this is Josh talking about Stephan's mom being a drill instructor, being some crazy hardcore drill instructor lady. So I mean, that kind of gives you a little look into Stephan's mind.
Buy him like Hustler magazine for him.
That seems odd to me too. Like there was never a point where it seemed like his mom condoned any of his negative behavior. Right? So because I think I left off like right near that part when I was listening to it before the phone call. And that caught me as odd too. I was like, wow. The way I hear that is Stephan got the magazine on his own and wanted to like praise his mom or make his friend think that his mom was cool like that and bought him this magazine.
Yeah, it could be.
Kind of thing. I don't see Deb doing that.
Yeah, I guess he has no first-hand knowledge, I guess, of her handing him the porn. Yes.
I did hear in one of the other interviews that he always liked to present himself as the alpha male in the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I can agree with that. That he did always want to portray that he's better than you. And he knows karate or whatever. I think he was got a black belt in karate. He was in a karate at some point, and people would ask me, "Oh, you're not scared of him?" I'm like, no, I'm not scared of him. Like, I don't think he's gonna do anything. But because other people were, because he had stabbed the guy and he was karate, like, so I don't know. He did always seem to have to kind of one up. So I could see how, he wants he wants this guy to think that him and his mom are cool, so he'll tell that guy what he needs to. Yeah, like
One thing I'll say about that guy, though, the guy who he's talking about is his first friend. I forgot his name. Let me see if I could squint and see. We're talking that guy, so quote unquote, is Stephan's first friend. I can't see it. Whatever. You guys remind me his name if you remember. But his first friend is the one who grew up with him. He's like a childhood friend. And they broke up from knowing each other too closely because he got too weird. They separated paths, blah, 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 blah. So you're talking to somebody who knows this person as a child. So if he tells me that, I don't know, man. So if he tells me at that age that his mom gave him Hustler magazine, who am I to deny him of that reality? Who am I to say that's not true? Because that's who he is, right? He lies about shit. Well, if he lies about shit, then he might lie about his mom. I don't know. I think it is very possible his mom gave him the magazine.
It's insane. It's crazy. Like I said, not even like a year ago, he had reached out to my ex-wife, and I had told a friend like that I was telling this about. I told the friend, look, well, at least I know this guy, At least I don't have to worry about my wife, bringing my kids to meet her new boyfriend, and it's some weirdo that I don't know. And
that's weird, bro.
Out of nowhere, Mm-hmm. It's Stephan. I know Stephan, and I was okay with that. I'm like, okay, whatever. You want to talk. You want to hook up? Cool. At least I know the person who's going to be around my kids.
At least I could watch the videos that you made, and we could watch them together. Yo, that's some cuck energy, bro. I don't know what you mean, brother. I don't know what you mean. Your best friend, quote unquote, is trying to hook up with your ex-wife, and you're just cool with it. Okay. And then even the interviewer, he's like, whatever you say, bro. Back it up. That shit is
out nowhere, Mm-hmm. It's Stephan. I know Stephan.
That was the most faint I've ever heard in my life. He's like, No, I don't know, bro. I can't relate. I really can't relate. Sorry. The fuck type of shit is this?
Friend like that I was telling this about. I told the friend, look, well, at least I know this guy, At least I don't have to worry about my wife.
What's up, Cha-Cha?
Bringing my kids to meet her new boyfriend, and it's some weirdo that I don't know, and out of nowhere, Mm-hmm. It's Stephan. I know Stephan, and I was okay with that.
You spoke to the wrong person, Mr. What's the name of it? GHI. You spoke to the wrong person. You spoke to a potential You spoke to a potential inmate, bro. A potential offender. That's who you spoke to.
I'm like, okay, whatever. You want to talk. You want to hook up? Cool. At least I know the person who's going to be around my kids, right? Apparently not.
Yeah. And obviously you didn't notice anything awkward with him and your kids either. He was just
Nope.
It makes me wonder if you picked Jenn for her particular mental issues that she has, so that he could get close to. I mean, if you were thinking back now, did it seem odd that he was dating her because of how she was? Just now, if you think about him dating Jenn, does that make sense?
I mean, I never questioned it. I was never like, oh, well, why are you,
Why are you dating an unstable fuck?
Why would you be in a relationship with this person? Like, I know people who are bipolar. My dad's ex-wife was bipolar, and she's all over the place. Does that mean, nobody should talk to her, nobody should be in a relationship with her, so I mean, I just kind of, okay, cool, you love her. So what I was saying about, I've been to the house, so when I heard that he was staying in a different room or something, they were broken up and he's still living there in a different room, this is a condo. And it's not just, it wasn't, when I was there at least, it was not just Jenn and Maddie and Stephan in this condo. It was Jenn's family as well. Like, we were not allowed to go anywhere else in the house except for Jenn and Stephan's room. And Maddie had her own room. The rest of the house was not common living area.
Okay,
Her
so
family was watching TV in the living room. We were, directed upstairs into the back bedroom.
so there isn't really another room. So he probably. To me, it seems like it wasn't like he just told people they weren't. They were broken up, is what I think.
So that's what it seems like. But like I said, their relationship was always on and off. I was always told that we're fighting right now, and then we got back together, and it was ever since I knew about Jenn, it was on and off, like constantly. Still, all in all, I feel like Jenn knows something more. There's more to the story, and maybe because I know Jenn and him, like, sexually kinky people, right?
Mm-hmm.
In which way? What does that mean? Does that include children? Like, you could be kinky and still be a law-abiding citizen. You could do freaky things and not go to jail. It's very possible. What does he mean by that? That gives me one of those moments. Like, wait, what do you mean by that, though?
Both of them together. He told me things that they did together. Oh yeah, cool. Like, and that, I think, for me, that was like, oh well, that's why he's with her, because she does XYZ for him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So I think I personally think that maybe all three of them did something weird at some point. So it was, it became an okay thing for the kid in her mind that this is okay.
What do you think about the theory of maybe she got pregnant somehow?
That's crazy. This is sick. So he thinks. So get this, the friend is defending him. This guy needs to go to jail. What the fuck? Please indict this guy for something. I don't know. Take him to jail on a speeding ticket or something. I don't know, because this guy literally is defending this guy all the way up to this point, and he's like, yeah, but I think Jenn probably knew, because they're kinky, and it's very possible that they were doing things, all three of them. I mean, how does a 13-year-old consent to some shit like that? And he's just like, yeah, that could be a thing. Yep, I guess so. Shit, I guess she thought it was okay. And he's just like, well, shoot. I wish I could hang out with him, but, he's battling that situation. Like, he doesn't even see anything wrong with that. The friend doesn't even see a problem. The friend, that's the craziest part to me, though. The threesome, whatever. They were probably doing some sick shit to her, and she just she hated everything about her life. But the fact that the friend was like, yeah, shit, maybe, and still defending him. Hold on, back that up. Just the way his voice is so regular. I don't know if she was that fucked. She might be, though, because why else would she be there? Why else would she be supporting him? Think about it. What's the reason other than she had something to do with it?
Point, so it was, it became an okay thing for there's more to the story, and maybe because I know Jenn and him, like, sexually kinky people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both of them together. He told me things that they did together. Oh yeah, cool. Like, and that, I think, for me, that was like, oh, well, that's why he's with her, because she does XYZ for him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
okay.
So I think personally, I think that maybe all three of them did something weird.
Three of them did something
point,
weird.
Yeah.
At some point. Fucking weird. Did he laugh? Hold on.
I personally, I think that maybe all three of them did something weird at some point.
Yeah, he laughed. That was funny to him. Yo, this guy found the jackpot in an interviewer in terms of the type of people who like this guy. Fucking sickos. Your boy Josh somebody needs to go look at Josh's phone. I don't know if you're watching this, if you see this later on and you know Josh, go look through his phone. I could bet you 90% CP on that shit. With a capital C and a capital P. That's what I'm going to find. That's what I could bet. It's just a theory, though, allegedly. I'm not putting it on him. Just saying. That's what I would assume I would find from such a person's phone.
Yeah. So it was, it became an okay thing for the kid in her mind. That,
exactly, Cha-Cha. That's weird.
Is okay.
What do you even think about the theory of maybe she got pregnant somehow? Because why would you kill if somebody was involved for all those years? There must have been something dramatic that happened.
You would be surprised if it wasn't found? No, that's what I'm saying. Man, listen. This guy, and he defends him for some reason.
That's what I would think too. I've looked back at the pictures, and I'm looking at the pictures of her. Maybe that's a possibility, and then something was going to happen, and somebody said that they were going to tell somebody or something, or I don't know. At first I was like, okay, well, they found her body. It had to have been an accident. She had to have slipped and fell and hit her head or something, and they freaked out. They didn't know what to do.
If they didn't
someone pushed.
If they did an autopsy, they would know she was pregnant.
Or shoved her or something. She got hurt real bad, and they didn't know what to do. So they put her in the car and came up with a story together. Because neither one of them look like they're telling the truth in their interviews. And Stephan is stoned hardcore in that interview. His eyes are all bloodshot. He gets this saggy eye when he gets real stoned, and you can kind of see that in the pretty much everywhere. One eye closes just a little bit.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of something. I was thinking down those lines of something happening in the house, and then they figured out a way to. But I mean, why would you be dumping back, items? Yeah, and the whole thing about him driving her to school in the morning seems weird. The mom didn't even see her that entire morning.
Right.
He's low-key throwing him under the bus. I don't know why he was defending him at the beginning, and now he's low-key throwing him under the bus now. He's like, yeah, and they're both lying. I could tell when he's lying. And he's high, so he's not taking it well. Yep. Whose side are you on? I don't even understand this guy.
Interview I saw, she's bouncing the whole time. She's bouncing.
Mm-hmm.
Her timeline, the whole timeline's real weird. Okay, so it went to drop her. First off, the we dropped her off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's my boyfriend dropped her off. But he was throwing stuff in the dumpster at 7:30.
Right, and they both said we at some point.
Right. So it feels like there was a story collaborated together, and this is the story we're sticking to.
That we came up with.
That we came up with. Right. We did this.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucking up.
So like I was saying, my first instinct was, Stephan couldn't have done any of that. It had to have been something else. There's got to be something else. Did Jenn convince him to take care of something for her, right? And then I saw
Right?
that there was the pictures on his phone, and he was arrested. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, the pictures on the
what-
phone sort of weigh things more in his direction only. You know what I mean?
Right. That I'm like, wow, that's okay. Well, that's red-handed. That does not look good for him.
Because even when she
and
said
then-
we, just a minute later, she said he dropped our.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Even the way he was like, well, that's red-handed. That doesn't look good for him. It's not like, oh yeah, he's a piece of that was disgusting. I was just like, damn. I just didn't expect that. He was like, well, that was red-handed. Unfortunate for him. You gotta hide your corn better, bro. You gotta hide your naked pictures of people who are not over fucking 20. You know, you gotta hide them a little bit better. Literally, bro. He's like, well, that was red-handed. The way he said it, it's like, yeah, this happens a lot, but damn, he fucked up. Shit, I can't help you there, bud. Well, what can I do? I'm just better than you at it. Man, this guy needs to shut the fuck up. What's up, Kimmy? That's an oopsie daisy. Yeah, that's exactly how he's acting.
Well, Stephan couldn't have done any of that. It had to have been something else. There's got to be something else. Like, did Jenn convince him to take care of something for her?
What's up, Andrea?
Right?
Hell
And
yeah.
then I saw that there was the pictures on his phone, and he was arrested. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, the pictures on the phone sort of weigh things more in his direction only. You know what I mean?
Right. That I'm like, wow, that's okay. Well, that's red-handed. That does not look good for him.
Because even when
that was red-handed. That's it. It's crazy.
she
And
said
then-
we, just a minute later, she said he dropped our.
Right.
Yeah, so she corrected that, but was the we a unconscious error? What's that term? Subconsciously saying we because
Well, I think she does it a couple times. I think there's she uses we in there a couple times and then goes back and corrects it each time.
Mhm.
And then like I don't know, it
Sometimes
Somebody said the pitch in his voice is a tell. Low key, guys. I'm not even gonna lie. He gives me a little twist of Paul Ferguson, all grown up, like a mature Paul Ferguson who didn't kill his brother. He gives me that matter of fact, nerdy voice. I know more than everything. You know, that type of. You know what I'm saying? Bro is a walking red flag. The only person that I think is pretty normal is the first one who spoke to us because he's just a childhood friend. And that's pretty much it. Everybody else kind of gives me the little creepy vibes. Like, oh, you played tabletop games with him? I'm talking about the other guy. You played tabletop games with him and you didn't find anything weird about him. Nothing. And then we're saying Stephan and his girlfriend are both creepy. So that means all the people around them are probably what? Creepy.
people say we, like on my channel, I do the videos, I do the shows, but I'll say, yeah, we did a video yesterday that had, you know.
And I can see that as well. That's real iffy. The we there is,
Exactly.
but he did it too. We dropped her off, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like he said the same thing. So maybe she was aware that something happened, but if it was just him that did it, she would be turning him in to the police, unless she was so desperate to keep him somehow. I mean, wouldn't she have, if she'd known, wouldn't she?
Just him that did it.
Right.
If they were in it together, you know, and whatever it is, I think that autopsy will show a little bit more information once we get back, cause of death and stuff, like what happened, like why. And I don't know. The school calling, like the schools out there don't have it. So my son, when today, one of my sons has an appointment today, but Thursdays, my son every Thursday has an appointment, same time. The school's got a note every day, or every time Thursday he has that appointment, I get a phone call from the school. Your child missed these classes before noon.
Yeah. So maybe they don't have
Right.
that at that school.
So, and I have heard different things in different spots of how and when she was reported missing, right? So I've heard that the school called her after school. I've heard that she went to the school to pick her up and wasn't there, so she went into the school and was told that she was never there.
My bad.
Like, I've heard that the school was closed, so she couldn't go back in there. So then she called 911. How and when did she find out that her kid was missing? Supposedly, right? That's a question.
Yeah, it seems like the reporters haven't asked some of the important questions.
Yeah, it's almost like they're dodging those questions. It's like really weird. The whole thing seems really weird. I don't know.
Yeah, the interview where Stephan was in it, man, he just that just seems so ludicrous. I mean, you could probably tell he wasn't being truthful just watching that, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. I could definitely tell he was in trouble. I have seen that look before, specifically when he's talking to his dad. His dad would call him in, Stephan, get in here, and have him sit down. That's the look he got. What seems strange to me in that interview while he's talking, he says, that's the last time we saw her. So, again, the we, right?
Yeah.
And then
I remember that, yeah.
What really, like, he's screwed, was when he says reality keeps kicking in.
That's exactly what I called out on the show. That's the thing right there. That's it.
Or reality keeps hitting.
Yeah, he said something like to the effect of, reality keeps hitting, and then he goes, that she's missing. But you know what, in his mind, he wouldn't have said reality.
He already knows.
Again, criminals are really not good at this. You know, I feel like you've never been through it. Maybe a career criminal who's been killing people, they can kind of hide their emotions. But he's going through all types of emotions. He don't even know what to do. The truth is just seeping out of him. He's such a shitty liar. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to end well for them. I see this going to a death penalty. Good thing it's in Florida because, I mean, they don't give a fuck out there. So, shit. Off with him. That's what I say as well. Fuck that guy. I mean, it happens too often. And then these people, it's always like, oh, so sad, you know? So we need examples, you know, stuff like this, you just die. Simple. It's very simple. If it's involved you, sexual assault, and a child, we should start considering a death penalty. That's so simple. Because no normal person is going to accidentally do that. So all the regular people are good. There's nothing. We're good. Death penalty. The fuck? People are weird. I don't know.
Exactly. That's exactly what I called out on the show last night.
Yeah.
So, hey, we saw the exact same two things. Those are the same two things that I said. That's funny. Yeah. We have a delay.
His crying, like, there's no doubt in my mind he's sad about it. I don't think he's fake crying. Like, maybe no tears. Yeah. If you've already been crying for 3 days straight, 24 hours straight, even, like, you've already been dealing with all of this crap, you're numb. Your tears aren't there anymore. Like, when my dad passed away, after the first day of just total grief, like, I didn't have tears anymore.
Right.
So, but was I sad? Was I still crying? Yes. So, like, I don't think that he's heartless, even. I think that he definitely knows that he did something wrong, and what that is specifically, we don't know yet. But
he may even feel bad that he maybe even if you want to say it, like cared somehow about her at some point, but then he's now realizing she's not here, so he's able to draw on that to get the tears, perhaps. I don't know.
Correct. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Possible.
Why does this guy just enjoy snitching on him so hard when he's clearly weird? I don't know. Bro is out here snitching his heart away. He's over here snitching his heart away when he starts off the conversation like, yeah, I don't think Stephan was that weird a guy. Yeah, I would have. It was okay that he was going out with my wife because at least I knew him. Oh my God. What is wrong with this guy?
The timeline.
Yeah, and so that was another thing that I thought was weird too, as far as like the timeline goes, and like when Jenn is being questioned, there's a point where she like mentions, we tried to track the school laptop, it's off.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little weird to me too. Like that wouldn't be my first go to is track the school laptop.
Well, somebody said it kind of made sense if it's a school laptop that you get from the school, they put tracking devices on them, so that if somebody steals it, they can go recover it. So, maybe that's what it was. That sort of made sense. It kind
of seemed like she was like mentioning it
every time
she
says
knew that it was off. That's the feeling I got. Like kind of like when Stephan mentions that she was asleep during the car ride the whole way.
Yeah, that was another one of the things that
because he knows she's lifeless, and like he knows that ahead of time. Like, so if he says that, then if there is any documentation, somebody saw him something, and she looked like that in the car. Oh, she was sleeping, right?
Right. Yeah, that was the other thing that I pulled out of that interview on the show last night.
She was snoozing.
Hey, that's 3 for 3. I thought it was pretty great. I thought he was trying to explain why she looked lifeless because she was sleeping.
She was snoozing on the way. She took a quick nap. She was snoozing. Remember that interview? Oh my God, it was so bad. I think these two gentlemen pieced it together. The weirdest one gave us the best insight, not gonna lie. Josh part 2. Yeah. He's over here creating the story why she's over there sleeping. He's smoking weed heavily because he's stressing out. You know what I'm saying? They mess up their story saying we all the time instead of him because he was the only one supposedly who was taking her. We. Oh, I mean he. All that shit. I think that's exactly what the fuck happened. She's dead in the car and they're driving her along.
Well,
yeah,
interesting. It's interesting.
It's crazy. It's not something that I expected at all. I did when they came out and said he's arrested and they're taking him to jail for child stuff on his phone, I was like, oh man, no way. There's no way.
Yeah, and it's interesting hearing you being sort of a longtime friend for 20 years or so that you are thinking the same thing a lot of other people are thinking looking at it logically, right? Even though it's like hard to believe, you still think the same things when you're looking at the interviews, etc. You don't have excuses or anything like that for him. It's just
like I said, like as I'm watching it happen and unfold, yes, of course, I'm trying to make excuses, but all of my excuses, I'm talking to my mom about it because my mom knows Stephan too, and so I'm talking to my mom about it. My mom, she didn't really believe it either, but like I'm trying to justify what is happening, and I told her, maybe if he deleted something off his phone or something, and sure enough, the next thing that pops on the news is that, he said he accidentally factory reset his phone the same day. I'm like, yep,
yeah,
guilty.
Yeah, yeah, the factory
I don't know
resetting.
what he's guilty of, but he's in trouble.
Let's see.
All right. Well, I mean, at least bro was honest with himself. At least he was honest with himself. And I mean, I guess it's kind of hard. You know somebody for 20 years. You can't believe that. But in 20 years, you mean to tell me he was that good at hiding shit? He was that good at hiding his true self from you. That's badass if he was able to do that. It still makes me feel like you're kind of a creep too. Especially when he says, oof, that's red-handed. Well, what else would it be? Like, do you do that and just not get caught red-handed? I don't know. It just the way he responds to the whole situation. But again, he's justifying a 20-year relationship with somebody who he thought was one way, who turned out to be a creep, I guess. But anyways,
that was really that was a stab for me. I was like, oh man, really, Stephan?
Well, what if there was he died of a drug overdose, or she died of a drug overdose? Something happened in the house where that's how she died, and then they wanted to make it look like she wanted to run away and live in the woods.
So,
I mean, that's a possibility. And then they found that other stuff that was actually going on, so it looks a certain way,
Right, and that's what I was thinking at first was, if you've got a few people in the house in a circle doing drugs, and there's a bunch of drugs in the house, and one of them starts seizing, do you call the cops?
Yeah,
do you call an ambulance?
That happens all the time. People don't say anything because they don't want to get in trouble. Then it's cover-up mode.
Yep. So
I guess that's still a possibility because so far they haven't arrested him or charged him with murder yet.
Right.
Which is sort of interesting if you think about it, given all the information that we have.
Absolutely. So I don't think we have the
was benzo. They had benzo in the house? What the fuck is that? I don't know these pill popping ass drugs, man. They are prescribed to treat conditions such as anxiety disorders, insomnia, and seizures.
From what we do have, I can definitely tell he messed up. He did something he should not have been doing. What the extent of those things are that he was doing is not known yet. But we also don't know if it was just him. Bottom line, it comes down to we've got a girl that is not with us any longer.
Yeah.
All said and done, that's the worst part of this scenario.
Well, to me, it seems like if they would have charged him with homicide, I think, if there was something immediately apparent at the crime scene, like strangulation marks or a gunshot wound, something like that, it seems like they would immediately have charged him just based on the circumstantial evidence that he was the one driving her around. But it seems like, I'm just throwing this out there, I mean, because of the delay in charging him with murder, that they really couldn't see anything right away, and that makes you wonder if there was some sort of an overdose, or like she died of some sort of drugs, even if it was intentional or not. You can't immediately prove that you
could have been a poisoning, right? Yeah, something like that. That's yep, I agree. That's kind of what it seems like. Yeah, for me, if he killed her, right? Why?
Yeah, and so that's the thing. What changed is what I was thinking, and that's why the whole pregnancy thing comes up. However, if she just overdosed, then they didn't actually, quote, kill her. It would still be considered something like that, like a gross negligent
involuntary
homicide,
manslaughter or something like that.
Yeah, but then he's also got that pornography on his phone with her.
So October 17th,
so it is her.
I sent him a picture.
So specifically, it is her, because they kept saying he had underage shit on his phone. But the way they kept saying it, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna assume it was Madeline, right? But it was, right? That's what they're saying.
Kill her. It would still be considered something like that, like a gross negligent homicide,
manslaughter or something like that.
Yeah, but then he's also got that pornography on his phone with her.
So October 17th,
that's crazy.
I sent him a picture of Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle ticket from when I first from 04.
Mm-hmm.
When it first came out, we went together. I was going through my stuff and found that ticket and was like, "Hey, man, look at this. Check it out."
Some memorabilia type thing. Like, look at this.
Yeah, he said, "Oh man, that was a great night. We were so baked too, LOL." And then January 29th, I sent him a reel about Power World. Like, "Oh, you don't know what Power World is? You see that thing over there? It looks like a Pokemon? That's Power World." And he's like, "Well, what is that? I don't know what that is." And that, I explained to him what it was, and
when was the last time you? That's January, late January is the last time you.
January 30th was the last time I had a response from him. Yeah.
Yeah. Did he reach out to you very often, just by him, directly from him to you? Or is usually you're the one that initiated the?
It would. I guess it was usually me that would initiate, but every once in a while, it'd be like, "Happy birthday, man," or "Happy Thanksgiving," just
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of saying hi on holidays and events.
Right. I think that's what is one of the things that makes this case interesting to people, because of how he's sort of blended in, or I'm not sure when you say blended in. I mean, maybe this is more of a recent thing that's happening, but
I was just gonna say, no, he was kind of
seemed like a normal person to a lot of people, or sometimes a little quirky or weird to some, but they were still friends with him. And so, but you're one that he seemed totally normal with. Like, maybe you guys' personalities sort of, you jive together a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you guys are, for you, it's just absolutely more shocking than anybody else, because it's just like this good friend of yours that you've had for years, and then, wow, this guy's a monster.
Yeah, no, it's very, very shocking.